G'day, you mob. What is going on? Oh, crikey. Just can't do anything with that stuff in this weather. Let's go this way a little bit. No lights on the tank. No nothing. No nothing for yous. I believe Pipex. First in the chat today. Big bucket of kudos out to you, Pipex. That may be your first, is it? Cherry popped. Eagerly await and anticipate the arrival of your large bucket of kudos in the post sometime soon. Mriddle Singh, how are you? I think I was just attacked by a large bug. 3CA, Third Coast Aquatics, how do? Joel G, g'day Cobber. Punchy Paints, hello Pam, how's it going? Pardon me. Alan Matthews, g'day mate, how's it? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Pam, working on a drawing of a buffalo calf. Nice. Yogurt Covered Mirror, how are you? I love that name. It's fantastic. Saw you flitting around in Bentley's chat. Mismatched Socks. Jess, how are you, love? Right. Jess may not still be here. She did say she was going elsewhere. Bed or something. Some nonsense like that. Son of a quack. How's it going? Alyssa Bentley, hashtag no relation or no relation hashtag. Well done. Well done. It's catching on. It'll be universal and global before we know it. Jay Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics. G'day to you. GRB, brother. How's it going? S. More Australian crew. Oh, no, S isn't Australian, are you? Hang on. I'm so confused. Let's not start the letter confusion again. We all know how that went a few weeks ago. Mickham, g'day, mate. Two Dougs. G'day. Oh, funny you should say that, Two Dougs. It is quite the mud bath here at the moment. I did have to don the headphones just before I kicked off due to the fact that it was absolutely pelting down on the tin roof and I wouldn't have been able to hear a thing. But yeah, it's gracefully eased off for the moment, which is nice. Nice not to have all that full tilt noise in the background because I'm pretty sure it comes through the microphone as well. Geek Boy, how are you? Welcomes. Oh, I thank you, Alyssa Bentley. Unfamiliar with the song. I can honestly say it didn't get much radio play once I wrote and recorded it. But it was a very, very pleasant find of mine the other day, going through some old discs, and I found a few of my really old tracks. So I chucked together a quick video with that song, and that song is called Neville, as in the man's name Neville. I don't know why I called it that. It's certainly not about a man called Neville. I think potentially I may have assigned a name to the track before it had any words, as is my want or my won't, however you choose to say it. So, yeah, funny story with that. I decided to chuck that one together in a little video this morning. And when you upload videos to StreamYard to share through the StreamYard software, you're limited to 200 megabytes. And the first time I rendered it out, I had 420 odd megabytes. And then the second time I rendered it out, it was exactly 201 megabytes, which StreamYard did not like, that it did not conform to the numbers they required. So, I chopped off like 2 seconds at the start, and then it magically became less than 200 megabytes. And you all got to witness the glory of Neville. Not that it was very glorious. Some of the vocal recording I did on that was very, very, very screamy loud. Very screamy loud. But yeah, nearly 4. I'd hazard a guess and say approximately 17 or 18 years old, that song. And it still holds up. Maybe in some alternate reality. Where's Batman? I've missed the comedy there, Alan. You may have to explain it to me. Xanadu. How's it going, Z-Do? Z-Do? X-Do? Z-Do. Whichever one. You know who I meant. There's the first massive chat jump of the day. Where did we go? Be careful with the language. The good boy timer is still on. It's a concept I may have to steal from Josh Potter, the good boy timer. I like it a lot. That's right. I'm trying to get back up to the chat to see who I've missed. Holy dooly, that was quite a large jump. Blacky. Here we go. I think I found where I was up to. I think I got you, Mickham. Indoor fishing inside. Hello there. Welcome. Welcome back, I believe, actually. Chevy Fish. G'day, Chevy. This could be the first time in a while that Chevy Fish hasn't come in and said, saying hi and going to bed. Carolyn MC. Or Carolyn Mick. Welcome, Carolyn. Lovely to see you. And thank you for swinging on by. Crikey, it's taken me a long time to catch up, isn't it? Baby buffalo butt. Video games. What does that taste like? Aquamate, g'day. Oh, yeah, well, Aquamate, we've had so many stupid bloody clock shifts, haven't we? So we're at that stage of the year where I go from 2:15 and then I think 2 or 3 weeks at 1:15. And then once all of the clocks are set for the next 5 or 6 months, however long bloody daylight savings goes for now we're back to this time. I'm contemplating still sticking with 1:15, but some of my guests might not be able to appear with that extra hour. Yeah, well, the rain, Mickham, hasn't been the creek's up and stuff. It's nice and high, but we haven't had like heaps and heaps of heavy rain. It's just been a month of constant drizzly type rain. Apart from a couple of weeks back there where it flooded in lots of New South Wales and southeast Queensland. But yeah, thankfully not necessarily thankfully, because it's quite annoying when it's weather like that because you can barely get out and do anything. Medco74M. Why, thank you. And how ironic or serendipitous, maybe, that Medcow, I hope it's Medcow74, you've turned up for your first time on the 74th episode of Have a Beverage with Blacky. Is your 74 for a birth year? Because that was a fantastic year for births, I've heard. even though mine was right at the very, or almost right at the very end of it. Let's see. Have I missed anyone? Have I missed anyone? Chubby Guppy, I missed you. And, oh, look out. I've got a person making funny faces at me. And my chat just jumped again. Andre Ellis, how's it going? Lurking and reading. That could be a little bit confusing soon when we start talking proper. I think I've nearly made it to the bottom. If I've missed anyone, I deeply and sincerely apologise. My chat did just jump. I see Alan Matthews. S is the Batman. Very good. Very good. Regina Fingers. Regina Phalanges. How are you, Regina? Welcome. But, you know, let's do that funny old normal thing we do and bring a guest up onto the screen.
Oh, I thought you were ignoring me.
I was trying to, but it's so difficult to ignore you when you're making those funny what do they call them? Goo Goo Eyes at me in the backstage area.
The Goo Goo Eyes.
Rrr.
The Goo Goo Eyes.
Better
Does
than
that
the
interest you?
gold.
Does that interest you?
I love a good set of Goo Goo Eyes.
I see.
It takes me back. It takes me back, you know? Back to the old days of my stream where 90% of the stream was people talking about my eyes. So now I just try and keep them as closed as possible so they don't distract anyone.
You just try to keep your eyes closed the whole time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
I used to like,
I'm not saying that makes sense, but I'm not saying that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd get high or something, so my eyes are like this, but then all I talk about is clouds and lizard's teeth and what's the third thing? Umbrella ribs.
Umbrella ribs, you say?
Yeah.
Well, that's a totally normal thing to be saying.
Yeah, and they're very, very relatable subjects for people. You know, everyone's, I'm sure, got a cheerful little anecdote about that time that an umbrella rib attacked them, or that they found a lizard's tooth that the tooth fairy had replaced their tooth with under their pillow. All common stories. Common stories worldwide. What's been going on?
I'm just living the dream, man. I kind of feel like I'm dying a little bit, but you know.
Dying a little bit each day?
Well, it's for the sake of...
Or are you still sicknessing?
Well, I got my vaccine, man.
Right.
I got my vaccine, so now I'm sick.
Yeah. Apparently it happens with vaccines, doesn't it? But it's probably a better form of sick than the alternative. G'day, Jay Olivers. How are you?
I would say that seems to be the consensus. Is that well, if this is bothersome, imagine, having the Rona.
The full deal.
Yeah. And this is just the mRNA. So it's the mRNA vaccine. It doesn't give you COVID, different type of vaccine that it just is reprogramming the spike protein or whatever,
Yeah.
And so very different.
Pardon me.
It's very different than getting a vaccine that has, like the crappy version of the virus, So I got my first Moderna injection, and had a bit of so I got it Saturday evening, and I woke up Sunday and was my sinuses were dry and I was just kind of achy and stuff. But Monday I woke up and I just felt like total garbage.
Yeah, right.
And then today I woke up and I felt like kind kind of back to the just achy, kind of sinusy weird. So I have the expectation that tomorrow I'll feel like, oh yeah, yesterday I had a cold kind of thing. So should clear up here. Seems to be following the path that all of the doctor paperwork that they gave me was like, yeah, you'll probably have some effects for like 48 hours, So seems to be falling in line with what they were saying, So
do you feel a little disappointed that that it's all going along normally, that you have to accept that you are just a normal person?
Well, I'm just having like a normal reaction to the mRNA vaccine. I mean, is it good or bad? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like being sick, but
Yeah, I was just being a dick about your how normal you are.
Oh,
you're just as normal as all those other non-sick
the thing is, from everything that I've looked into and all of the experts that I've talked to about it, it seems that like the younger you are and the better your immune system is, the more heightened your reaction is generally to it. So
yeah, because it's going to fire, isn't it?
It's not saying that I'm young, and it's not saying that my immune system is awesome. It just seems to be the case, generalizing from the massive pool of information they have now, is like, well, you're only 40 and you are in pretty good health, so you should have a pretty strong response, which is kind of what you want. You want to have a fairly strong response to, which is kind of dumb, but it is what it is. There ain't much for going like, hey, I won't have no response, and they're like, well, no response is, I mean, maybe that's kind of nice, but maybe you won't have the level of immunity that you're supposed to. So,
maybe you got the sugar syrup and it didn't work.
You got the placebo.
Zip Gun, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hello. And is it John Oliver, his Guppies and Aquatics, or is it Jamie Oliver? Or is it?
I don't know. I have a John Oliver that comes in and says howdy, but it's not J. Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics, so who knows?
Interesting. All things fish. G'day. How's it going? Oh, Alyssa Bentley got her science juice today. I like it. Yeah. Science juice.
You get that science. You get that science all up in your body, and then you got a stuffy nose, and you feel all achy and stuff.
Well,
like,
I'm
hey,
sure.
Man, what's up with your science? I thought we were supposed to. We're supposed to get massive erections and grow hair back from our balding area. All that. What happened?
Some things science can't be trusted on, and one of them's hair.
That's definitely one where you're like, huh? Okay, it's gonna regrow hair, huh? Okay. Well, how did you figure that one out? Well, we're just gonna tell you that. So. It's cool, right? We're cool.
The first step is making you believe it, and the second step is you believing it, and then the third step is you continuing to believe it until you die without your hair growing back.
Until you stop paying them, right?
Or until you're just too old to even give a stuff whether you've got hair or not.
Yeah,
but it seems to be one of those industries where there's a new method and a new company that's doing all the greatest new things with hair every few years, And
the thing that gets me with that one is that, like, when you hear the commercial where it's like, it's the all natural medicine, and you're like, wait a minute. So we could have just been eating some herbs and then nobody would have been bald. Like, come on now. Hold on a minute here. People have been eating herbs forever. You got to think somebody back in the day ate a lobster for the first time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Somebody went, hey, I caught this weird bug looking thing from the ocean. And they were like, you know what we should do? We should eat that. There was a person that was the first one to eat a lobster. You know what I'm saying? And And they didn't figure out the herb that grew your hair back. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Reminds me of that episode of the Sarah Silverman program. Not sure if anyone saw that, but she was engaged in a particular activity with her pet dog, and she got in trouble for it. And she's saying it could have been the new milk. Someone had to be the first person to find out that humans could drink milk. This could have been the new milk.
What the fuck?
You didn't see the Sarah Silverman program?
I don't believe I've seen some of them. But show. I do have to admit that I find Sarah Silverman really attractive, and then her comedy is like over the top, and it makes me feel weird about myself. You know what I mean? And then you go like, oh, that's Jimmy Kimmel's ex-girlfriend. Oh God, this is just getting all sorts of weird.
Yeah, no, I think she's certainly changed over the years, and Sarah Silverman from 10, 15 years ago was, right up there with her level of comedy.
So one of the reasons I say that is that she has the exact sense of humor as like a good friend of mine, who's a female also. And that's what honestly makes me feel real weird about it. And so I'm like, because I'm not attracted to my friend.
Yeah,
but
right.
Then I'm attracted to Sarah Silverman. And she has the same, it's like the same voice and the same crazy sense of humor. It makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever encountered that where you're like, that person's a lot like my friend. You're like, I don't know, this feels weird.
I've certainly had that situation where you prevent yourself being attracted to someone because they remind you of a friend. Because you're what's the word I'm after? Preempting the fact that shit could go wrong. I hope the good boy time is finished because I just said shit.
Oh, it's the good. Did we have good boy time? I don't know. Are we supposed to be good? Your channel's not monetized yet, right? So we can't even take that into consideration, right?
I just enjoy the concept of, the first 15 minutes you should refrain from swearing or talking about nasty subjects and stuff. And one of the, I don't know if you know Josh Potter from Your Mum's House channel.
Yeah.
He does a podcast and he starts his with a 15-minute good boy timer on the screen. But I don't have the technological wherewithal to make myself up a good boy timer. So it's just a conceptual thing up here that I like to imagine.
Yeah, I've never heard that guy's podcast. I don't know.
It can be quite tedious because a lot of the time, there
was a guy I watched his comedy special when I was sick. And it's new on Netflix, and he's like very clean comedy. Damn it. What's his name? It's like brand new. Somebody in the chat will probably remember. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they'll know. But he's got a new comedy special out on there. And it made me think of Tom Segura because the guy is friends with Tom Segura. I can't remember his name. New net. Hold on. Let me look this up. Netflix.
Yeah, it's a weird concept, isn't it, nowadays? The non-blue comedy.
Yeah. Here it is. That's his picture. That's his picture, but what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Not Jim Gaffigan. No, his special was out a couple of months ago. Wasn't it?
Jim Gaffigan's pretty clean. He's a pretty clean comic. This is his picture. Why can't... It has no name.
Show me his picture, and I might know it.
Hold on. Hold on. 25 best on... Let me just scroll through this. It'll be on here. I know it. Come on.
You're taking the fun out of my guessing game, though. Oh, Denny's Fish Tanks. I miss saying hi to you, Denny. G'day, mate.
Oh, my God. What the hell? Oh, there he is. Nate Bergatzi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, righto. I didn't know he was clean.
What's that? He's super clean. I mean, he's a super clean comic. Well, I mean, his stage show is, but I've
Yeah.
heard him like on podcasts and stuff, and he's like dropping F-bombs a little bit here and
Yeah.
there, that kind of stuff. But his comedy special popped up and it said rated G. I was like, what? A comedy special rated G?
Super rarity.
Oh my God. You know, and I watched it and I have to admit, I laughed my ass off. It was funny as hell. And
Yeah, well, it's a challenge.
When I was watching it, I literally was laughing in just like a real, like, I wasn't like going bananas, like screaming or anything like that, but I was legitimately laughing like, oh man, you know. And I was thinking about it and I was like, this is how good Tom Segura is supposed to be. When I was watching his Nate Bargatze's special there, it literally popped into my head like, this is how good Tom Segura is supposed to be. And I swear, because like Tom Segura's specials are really funny, but then you listen to his podcast and you start to like, they start to become like less funny, I think, when like the more you know about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree.
Like how weird him and Bert Kreisler are getting, where it's like they're having some kind of like late night S&M drunken party festival streams. Like
Didn't they already do that one?
They've been doing more of them. There's more than one.
Well, there was a Your Mum's House live just the other night.
Yeah,
and
they
I think
did
it was
one
on
with
Friday
Warren
night.
Sapp for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm actually
before that, which was like with the dominatrix and all this stuff, and it's just like, come on, man! Like, no one's shocked by this, and it's not really like that funny. Like you're not being that shocking. Like you aren't shocked. Oh my God, oh. You know. And then it's like, but you're like failing at shock comedy, and failing at just regular comedy. I don't know. This seems.
I did the Your Mum's House live stream, the last one before the most recent one. Mm-hmm. And I quite enjoy them. I like being grossed out and seeing the extent that they can go to on the internet. So I'll probably fork out another $10. I think it will work out to about $12 or $13 when I buy it. But
right,
3 hours of gross out stuff and other funny stuff. But yeah, it's certainly the live ones are different.
Like if you can't top Jackass, like what's the point? In my opinion, it's like.
I think some of the stuff they've shown on the live streams has topped Jackass.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen Jackass, like the uncensored stuff. But
maybe not.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
But they certainly the Your Mum's House podcast certainly are they can be quite repetitive because they do get their clips that get a really good response, so they sort of labor the jokes around them for a few weeks in a row and sometimes months in a row.
Yeah.
But one thing I really love about their streams is the how they've got a few viewers with the musical production skill, and they'll take audio snippets from some of their clips and turn them into songs and stuff. That's generally quite good.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I've had some people send in some songs to me, but I've run them through to see if YouTube is gonna copyright claim them, and they've hit the mark for being a copyright claim. So it's kind of like, darn it.
Yeah.
Like, guess I can't play that.
And that's why I tend to just use my own music.
Right.
G'day, Daniel. How's it going?
Well, the problem is like some of the song structures are just so close to other songs, like famous songs, that you're going to get a copyright strike for that. Well, you're going to get a copyright claim. Sorry, not a copyright. You might get a copyright strike, but it's normally just a claim. Which, it's not the biggest ordeal in the world. Like if you have like tons of merch sales or whatever, but to me, it's kind of like, well, it just negated all the work I did, you know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was counting on making money off of doing that content, and then it just negates all the income for me. You know, I don't really like rely on merch sales or, you know, website sales or any of that kind of stuff. So it's like when that goes away, it's kind of like, well, there goes the there goes the $20 I was gonna make. Great. I guess we won't be making $20. Some
Yeah,
random
that
BMI company or something is gonna get my $20 from YouTube. Like, great, cool.
that merch is hard to rely on, isn't it?
It's virtually impossible, and like you know, I don't know. I personally feel like selling merch is just like the weirdest thing ever. You know, it's like, hey, buy a shirt with my face on it, and I'll make some money. Like, what? What the hell? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I even feel like so stupid, like asking, like, hey, hit the like button, everybody. Yeah. You know, like, come on.
I
Like,
tend to
this job is weird. Like, come on, there's no way anybody could even think that this
yeah,
is normal.
I tend to forget to do those, hit that like button in my own stream. But if I'm watching someone else's stream, I'm quite happy to tell other people
Right.
to
Yeah, it's super easy to like shill
do
for
it.
somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey man, hit the like for Blacky. Come on. I'm gonna come over there.
Yeah, what he said. Oh, Herman Bannister, hello. I've run out of burp fuel, so I might just jump up and go and rectify that situation, so I can
God. He's going
so I
back
can
to
please the masses with my. I mean, what are they called? What are burps called? I know farts are called flatulence. What's the scientific name for burps, people?
Oh, we must discuss. We must discuss. It's probably some kind of weird thing. It's got to be like a weird science name for burps.
I know there is because I heard it just the other day. Probably on a podcast.
My chat's just telling me about horses right now, so that's not very helpful. Yeah, this like sniffly nose I got from my COVID vaccine is just annoying beyond belief. I don't know about you guys. Like, I don't mind coughing every once in a while, but like you legit got like a runny nose. It makes you just seem like you're 3 years old, you know?
Eructation, that was it.
It's like, I gotta blow my nose again, guys. Hold on a minute here. I got boogers.
Yeah, well, I had one of those last week. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a terrible stream because I'm going to be the whole stream. But for some, I mean, it was like the rain today, just before the stream. The runniness stopped.
Huh.
Maybe it was just all in my mind.
It could have been. It could have been just something psychological issue you were having. Maybe you were just like really sad and you were just like kind of crying a little bit, but you didn't know.
Oh, it doesn't take much for me to tear up. I can tear up watching Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I mean, these days, I mean, come on.
If they just
I think everybody's emotionally spent at this point. You know, you like drop some groceries on the ground or something, and oh man, this whole world's going to hell, man.
Yeah, no, I've been like it for a long time. I get so triggered by TV and movie moments. G'day, ugly man. How's it going, bro?
Ugly man.
It's just this. I guess it's the whole conglomeration of music and emotion and stuff that they do in TV to deliberately trigger your emotional cycles. Those fascists.
I don't think it's fascist. I think it's sound design. I don't think that's fascism. I think you've missed the definition of fascism.
It's a very, very flexible term.
I understand that people use it flexibly, like reflexively.
Reflexively, yeah.
No, I was making fun of reflexively and saying reflexibly, but you know, because it's a play on using a word wrong.
Doesn't it suck when you have to explain your jokes?
That's just how I know my comedy's not that good.
I was thinking about a comedian who was always telling people, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" But then I just realised that it wasn't an actual comedian; it was Bojack Horseman in the Bojack Horseman show.
Right.
When he was doing stand-up comedy.
Yep.
G'day, Gaffer. How's it going, mate? Yeah, I've been watching a few Bojacks again.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is a good show. And, you know, it's got Paul F. Tompkins in it. How can you go wrong if you got that guy in it?
Yeah. Are you caught up on Invincible yet?
Yes. Yes.
Good. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Gotta say,
indeed it is.
They're doing quite well. I like it when they do well with following up on how the books go.
With what?
With how the books go.
What do you mean?
Invincible.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't read any of the book or anything. The graphic novel.
Haven't flipped through the graphic novel.
Nah, I got greasy fingers. You know, I'd hate to mar the pages.
I just do it digitally now.
Oh yeah, of course.
My my air quote brother, you know, my brother. He does graphic design and all that kind of stuff, graphic design and marketing and everything. And like 10 years ago, his graphic novel collection was like a freaking library, man. It was just like shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves, full color graphic novels, all that stuff. And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't deal with this any longer. Just look at what I got going on here. This is ridiculous." And he switched over to when the iPads got really good, you know, they got like big and full color. He was like, "Oh, I started just downloading them digitally." And I was like, "Oh, that actually is kind of the way to go." Like most of the art actually, believe it or not, looks better. And that's not normally the case for a switch over to digital, but but it seemed to be with graphic novels because it's like the colors are true and bright and backlit, and you know, it's kind of cool. It might not be cool for anybody else out there, but kind of cool as far as I'm concerned. So, and it definitely saves from the greasy fingers and you know, like, "Oh, you folded the spine." Like, well, I don't know. I was just reading it. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that's the worst thing about reading other people's comics. Other people's comics or books or anything is that if you actually care, you know, you're very, very cautious about not doing anything to harm them.
Right.
Because most people that collect them are very, very finicky about them. But then again, those finicky people probably won't lend them out either.
That's true.
Oh, we've been compared to a modern version of the Odd Couple. Which one's Oscar and which one's Felix? It was Oscar and Felix, wasn't it? It was. And was it Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon?
I think it was Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. That seems correct.
Might be showing my age there. Crikey. or you know, some awesome memory when it comes to
I think we could do the
stuff.
Grumpy Old Men. We could do the reboot on that one.
Oh, that's right. That was the same storyline, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good concept.
Great concept. The old guy made it. The old guy made those. The grandpa. Well, the great grandpa. Well, who was the guy that played the great grandpa? He was that old dude.
Now you're going to really test my mind.
What's that?
Now you'll really test my mind. I think the only characters I can remember from that show are Oscar and Felix.
Right.
I don't even know if I've ever watched an episode. But when they did the Grumpy Old Men movies, was it the same two fellas? Was Jack Lemmon still alive?
Yeah.
But are they both dead now? Walter Matthau died, didn't he?
Yeah, Walter Matthau died. Jack Lemmon might still be alive. I don't recall seeing a he passed away thing.
Yeah, I might have just been assumptimating.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We probably still shouldn't do spoilers on Invincible, should we?
No spoilers. It's in the midst.
Oh, there we go. Gaffigan says both of them are dead.
Although the episodes do come out on Friday and it is Tuesday, so it's kind of like, well, you should.
Yeah.
You should
Well,
kind of be fresh with it.
I think streaming may have spoiled people. Now a lot of people they've gotten used to a whole season being available at once. So
right.
now these shows.
Skunch and I were talking about that last week.
Yeah, that's I guess I was going to refer to that. Like she says that she wants to, wait till there's more episodes so they can go through a bunch at once, instead of like I really dig the old concept of one episode a week, so you've got time to process and stuff.
Right.
G'day, BJ Palmer.
I'm digging it being some of the stuff is coming out in that format, and it's not everything. It doesn't seem to be. They haven't gone like, oh, everything's going to go that way. It's just some of it.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart, because I think if they just went like, oh, everything's like that now, you're like, oh, well, you're going to lose a bunch of people.
Yeah, they're keeping irons in the fire, so to speak.
Right, because it's a good idea to keep some of those, to keep both sides happy, and I think some stuff lends itself well to either format. You know what I mean? Either release format.
Yeah, well, some stuff it doesn't necessarily come with a heavy toll, so you don't necessarily need to walk away for a little while and process.
Right. Like some stuff, goofy stuff, and you can just have a laugh and laugh off.
Just trying to think what other shows. Oh, that's right. The G'day Jesse. American Gods. Season 3, episode 10 has come out, and I'm not sure if that's where it's going to finish.
I haven't watched American Gods that much. Definitely not caught up, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they apparently they've based on, because my brother's visiting at the moment, and he's in the middle of reading the book. Or actually, based on where I'm up to in the TV show and where he's up to in the book. It seems very close to the end where they're at, but it sort of didn't really feel like a closing point.
Right.
If you know what I mean. It felt like there's a bit more to come.
Right.
Oh, pardon me. There was another show like that too that I just watched recently that just ended at a point where it just felt like there was still more to come.
Like they were just like, oh, we're done.
Well, I think that's also another tactic used by TV shows, is that they even if they're not guaranteed for another season or something, they leave it at a spot where, they can start again if need be. Well, yeah. With American Gods, it does seem like they're at the end of the
TV
book.
shows learned that quite a while ago, that you might be able to get funding again at some much later date.
Yeah, especially if you leave everything a little bit open. You're not forced to start again with some other storylines. Leave a little bit of, well, I suppose if you leave some stuff open, you don't have to, make up some cock and bull story of how someone came back to life from the dead.
Oh, that's a weird. I always thought that was just like a bad idea, to just like have all your characters die. But here's what's funny. Have you seen any new Game of Thrones stuff?
No. Is there new Game of Thrones stuff?
I haven't seen any new Game of Thrones stuff.
Right.
Yeah. You could also shoot yourself directly in the foot.
Yeah. Well, didn't those guys, they had like some $200 million deal or something with Netflix to write 3 seasons of some show?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's right. They were doing
deals. They had other deals and stuff, and HBO.
Yeah, they were going to do some Star Wars stuff or something, and then they got the Netflix deal,
and then they got that other deal. But more to the point is that HBO just let them release that. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it would have been a better decision for HBO to just be like, no, sorry.
Tie him in with a contract or something.
I'm glad that this was made, but just no, we're not gonna put it out. Sorry. You know, like it would have been better to just be like, no, we're not gonna put that out, and we'll figure it out later. We'll figure out what we're gonna do here after the fact. But
realistically, though, do we need more Game of Thrones?
If they had ended it well, yes. I mean, I don't know anybody out there that could be like, if they had ended the end of the seasons and stuff well, if you could honestly say, oh, I'm uninterested in any other Game of Thrones content, because everyone would be had they ended it well,
G'day, Tropico.
If they had ended that season, people would be stoked to find out what happened in Dorne after the fact, or whatever they wanted to do,
Yeah.
But they ended it like a bunch of buffoons, and seemingly now, like, here we are. Like, how long has it been now? 3 years? 2 years?
At least, yeah.
Like, something should have come out by now, and I guess you could blame COVID, but like that, something should have come out by now. Maybe it's been 3 years, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it has.
But like when they ended that show, they were like, we have like 5 shows in the works. But like, I haven't heard that head or tails, of them making anything about Game of Thrones, because they ended it so poorly that, like, I don't think anybody's like that excited. Like, no, I don't know anybody that's like, oh, I'm gonna beat down the door to go watch some more.
Yeah, they didn't leave anyone gagging for it.
No, everyone was just so pissed off that they watched the show for like 9 years or whatever.
Medcow's saying there's no more Game of Thrones coming. I think unless some big money gets churned back into it. But like you said, there was so many people around the world just so disappointed with the way it finished.
Right.
That I think all the viewers just washed their hands of it.
Yeah. Which sucks. I mean, really. Like, that's not good.
Did you end up watching The Watch? Because that's finished now.
I haven't yet. That's going to come.
Actually, I wonder if that might have been the one that I was thinking they ended it in a way that kind of left me feeling that there might be more on the way.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to my brother about The Watch this morning, and he because he's a mad Terry Pratchett fan as well. He got me into Terry Pratchett when we were much younger gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't like The Watch TV show because he didn't like the portrayal of Sam Vimes. And I thought the dude that plays Sam Vimes does an awesome job. He's a fantastic Sam Vimes. He's got such an animated face. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tropico Watchmen was awesome. I'm probably about due to go.
Watchmen was really well done. I'm sad that they're only making one season. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean they're probably protecting themselves, I guess, because a lot of that superhero stuff could just go on forever, and they could make up many storylines. But if you just bang one awesome season out, and make a choice, then you leave people hanging for more. But if they don't get it, then they've always got something rad to go back to. Hello, Crystal. How are you, love? Welcome. But yeah, we're just spoilt for choice. I think there's like a bajillion streaming services now. And you can generally find anything you want on. However, 2 films I went looking for in the last week, District 9
Mm-hmm.
and 9. Remember that? Did you ever see that animated movie 9? Absolutely beautiful movie, and District 9 is potentially one of my favorite films ever.
Yeah, I think Coheed and Cambria do the soundtrack for 9. I think they did.
Yeah, I think it had someone well known. But yeah, you can't just stream them without renting them, and they're 10, 15-year-old movies or something. Actually, 9 was 2001, I think, somewhere way back there, and it's still only available as a rental.
Rude.
I've got it on a hard drive somewhere, illegally sourced download. But District 9 I've got on DVD somewhere, but knows where that is.
Who does? Who knows?
Oh, and Neil Blomkamp is he's doing a sequel to District 9 too. Ah, there we go. Tropico said the same thing.
Oh yeah, I heard that they were doing a sequel.
Did you, by any chance?
Wonder how well that's gonna go. I hope it's good.
What was there's a Blomkamp thing, something Studios Volume 1. I can't remember whether it's on Prime or another one of the streaming services, but it seems he's put a whole bunch of like shorter films together in this something studio. That it's going to come to me. I swear it'll come to me if someone doesn't beat me to it in the chat. But yeah, that's like an anthology kind of movie with some short things, and it's like, to me, it's like ideas for potential feature films that he puts out on YouTube and stuff to gauge response, I guess. And I think that's where they were originally released, as individual short films, and then they've been all compiled into this one movie length thing, which was quite impressive. But I was confused AF at this when I was watching it, because I didn't know it was like an anthology thing. So as I'm progressing through the movie length thing, I'm trying to join them all together and work out how they're one movie. But yeah, I waited till I finished before I went and Googled it to work out why my mind was blown so much. G'day, Ty Hunsiker. How are you, Ty? Welcome. Haven't seen Space Sweepers Ugly. And did I watch District 9? Go watch Skyline. Don't think I've heard of Skyline apart from the car. But, if Tropico is recommending it, it's got to be worth it. I haven't seen Zilla versus Kong yet.
Yeah,
I do enjoy a King Kong movie. I've watched 2 or 3 in the last month. Yeah. I've got to go back and watch the...
I've heard that the new one it delivers on what you're looking for. The expectations that you have for a King Kong versus Godzilla movie. They're like, yeah, it'll be outrageous.
That's kind of what you want from a King Kong movie.
They're gonna battle, like all right.
Yeah, I want to go back and do the was it 1979, the one with Jessica Lange in it, and she's like one of my favorite female actresses ever, mainly because she's very easy on my eyes. Even to this day, I still find her an incredibly attractive woman. But yeah, I'd like to go back and watch that one as well, because I can remember watching that when I was, maybe a 10 or 11-year-old kiddie and loving it. But I don't know if I've seen it since back then. But yeah, like I said before, we're spoilt for choice. There's so much awesome viewing out there to be watched.
True.
Whoa, itchy face.
You would be correct in that. There's just so much stuff to watch these days. It's getting wild. It makes me wonder, like, why haven't they Why haven't they funded our show idea yet? That's really the question.
Why they want?
Why they haven't funded our show?
Oh yeah.
One we're making.
It's certainly got potential to be turned into a feature-length film.
That's what I think.
It could set the new standard for dialogue movies.
That's right. That's right. When you thought it was all finished, turns out you were wrong.
Yeah. Yes, Firefly was very good.
Firefly was awesome. That's a perfect example of a show that I was going to bring up earlier, that they left it where you could make more.
Yeah.
Fox is well known for making good decisions, just because they got it right with The Simpsons or whatever, but they never ended The Simpsons, which they should have a long time ago.
Yeah, well, now they're just interested in the record books, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality of it,
They got the longest running animation series. Now they just want longest running sitcom as well. Yeah, X-Files was gold, Fish Tropic.
Okay.
Don't get me started on the Zack Snyder cut. Okay. Yes, that's 4 hours of my life I won't get back.
We live right now in Australia. All the Australians. So we got to move the cabinet. Okay, you go take your shower, and then come tell me. And we'll move the book cabinet. Book cabinet. My lady just showed up. We need to move a filing cabinet. At some point, after she takes a shower.
Yeah, those things can be buggers to move. Is it laden with files? Or is it an empty filing cabinet?
It's empty. You can't get it down the stairs,
I just put it at the top of the stairs and push. Gravity will take care of the rest.
Well, that'll wake up our daughter who went to sleep 15 minutes ago.
There's always a trade-off.
A big trade-off.
Sleep is key for the little kiddies.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Two Dogs Elysium was pretty choice as well. I'm assuming that's what... I know you've cited your spelling, but yeah, it's... I'm assuming that's what you meant. That was a good show. Very good show. Was that a blind camp as well?
That's the one with Matt Damon, right?
Yeah, where he has to do naughty things on Earth to get up to the special rich person spacecraft.
I thought that one was pretty good. That one definitely ended with there's not another one though.
Yeah, but yeah, I think they certainly left it, like you say, with potential for more. But yeah, I doubt they'll milk that bunny.
I doubt it. You'd have to get Matt Damon to come back.
What's that?
But you'd have to get Matt Damon to come back.
Yeah, and he's down here at the moment. He's just up the road from me.
What's he doing?
I think he's filming a movie, but he's also bought a large chunk of property about 25 minutes north of where I am.
Oh.
Going to build
out there or something?
Huh?
What's he got a zoo out there or something?
Who knows? Who knows what he's going to do with it? Because I'm pretty sure he's just he's bought a piece of property and he's going to build a house on it. But the apparently the Hemsworth, who lives just over there a bit, apparently he's sold his massive mansion, or he's put it on the market or something. Like a sensible human being, he's sick of Byron Bay. that might have been fake news, but because he's obviously he's been in the Sydney filming the Thor Love and Thunder film.
Right.
Yeah, he's been staying in Sydney while he's filming. So potentially, if he's been living in a house in Sydney while filming, the paps might have gone a little bit silly with their information and tried to convince the world that he sold his house. Time will tell.
All right.
That's the one too, Doug's Elysium.
That's kind of weird. Like, why would he have sold his house?
Oh, because, it's Byron Bay. It's a shit of a town.
It's a bigger house?
Yeah. Yeah, his massive house with its own loading dock can't possibly be big enough for the two of them.
You're probably right.
Move when the toilet paper roll is in. Ah, yeah, right. Like that's the big movie star thing, yeah, with massive bank accounts. Yeah, don't go and buy more toilet paper. Just go and buy a new house that comes with half a dozen rolls.
With toilet paper.
And then rinse and repeat. The process continues.
It shall continue. Ad nauseum.
Possibly Mickham. Maybe Matt Damon just wants to be closer to the Z Beast.
Could be.
He must have slept in again, or he might be on the road doing business. Because
what time of day is it there right now?
It is 23 minutes past the 1 in the afternoon.
And there's potential that he's asleep.
Yeah, there's potential, but there's also potential because him and his wife do, like, she designs jewelry and stuff, and they do like a lot of driving around to different towns trying to sell their jewelry off to stores and whatnot. So there's quite a bit of potential that they could be on the road doing sales.
Road sales.
Yeah, those good old
road doggies. The road doggies doing road sales. But
yeah, he's checked in a few times from the road, but
it's spotty.
Yeah, spotty appearances from Beast, but when he's here, 100%. Wouldn't be my first, Mickham.
That
stalker.
Oh. Everybody likes a stalker now and then again.
If Matty Damon wants to stalk me, I'll allow it. He's a good-looking boy.
Matrick Daemons.
Corvus, have you been playing No Man's Sky? If not, someone has stolen your name.
I have not been playing No Man's Sky, and I bet you somebody stole my name.
As in just Corvus or Corvus Oskin? Because, I believe there is actually other humans called Corvus. It's like a legitimate name, isn't it?
And they both mean blackbird in Latin, so it's not like that. It's not like a rare thing, Normally people do the Corvus brachiotus because that means crow.
I wonder, is that why Tropico has written crow cry in the chats?
Probably.
So we had a fun morning here this morning. We had an ambulance here. Took my dad to hospital.
Oh, what happened?
He's had a really rough back for a few days with some really centralized and localized focused pain. I think I used 3 synonyms there that I didn't need to use. And this morning, he couldn't even get himself out of bed. So ambulance people came and took him away and promised him joyous medications to deal with his pain. G'day, Leslie. So yeah, we're probably almost about due to give him a call and find out what's going on, because they kind of did suggest that he would only be in there for a few hours, do some scans and tests, drug him up and send him on home. But I'm kind of sort of hoping, because we've got quite a full house here at the moment with my brother and his tribe here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe Dad might benefit from a night or two in hospital away from claustrophobia and stuff.
The chaos.
Yeah. Just so you know that uncertain feeling of randos in your house.
Yep. Understandable.
So
Ty was asking that. I have accounts on lots of stuff with my name, but No Man's Sky I've never played. Currently, I'm playing Minecraft. We have a new survival multiplayer that we're establishing as sort of a classic Minecraft server. It's vanilla, and there's no pay to play. Right now, people that are patrons or members on my YouTube channel have early access to it, and it will go public once we've kind of got everything fully established. We're testing a new server right now, and probably a week and a half it's going to go public to everybody, so people will be able to just play on it. So,
and is survival mode the one where you kill everyone else?
No, survival mode is you have to stay alive.
So it's PvE, not PvP.
PvP is player versus player. So SMP is survival multiplayer, which just means that everything is turned on. There's creatures, the nighttime, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So pretty standard stuff. Like the sun is going down right now. I'm gonna stop planting melons and run over and go to bed.
So you're more or less working together with the other players, and it's just the environment and the creatures that are your enemies.
Yeah, more or less. For now. And we likely will have... so the way that we're going to work out the server, because there are people that want to do PvP. So what we're going to do is set it up with factions. So basically you can be on whichever faction that you want to be on, and if you're going to do PvP, you will have agreed with the other factions that that's what you'll be doing, but you won't be able to attack other people or grief people's bases within the space of a faction. So like, sure. Let's say if you were on Blacky's faction, and you wanted to try and blow up my castle or something, not allowed. You would everything within my space, you wouldn't be able to you can't like break blocks or anything unless you were in my faction. So you can't like drop TNT from an airplane or blah blah blah. There's just really not much that you can do as far as like trying to be a negative Nancy. And plus we can track whoever did whatever. We can literally just look that up on the server and be like, all right, I guess you figured out a workaround so you could blow up somebody's work. Well, you're banned now. Okay, bye. So,
yeah, that was always the most annoying thing with having a game server. I used to run a DayZ PvE server, and you'd always get blow-ins coming in trying to break the rules and stuff. And
right,
but it was fine. It was easy to sort out, to kick someone out and ban them from the server. But the worst thing was always you put all that time and work into building a base or stockpiling weapons and whatnot, and some dickhead comes in and just wants to ruin your work. G'day, Paddy. Thanks. Bloody name changes. How many name changes do you want, Paddy? Oh, g'day, Chewy as well. Lunatic Fringe, also known as Chewy. But yeah, I might have to well, I suppose it's a couple of things I have to investigate, isn't it? Whether Minecraft will actually work on my computer.
It should work.
And then whether there's funds in my bank account to become a patron and be able to be part of the in crowd.
Well, while you were gone, I was saying that the right now, early access is for members and patrons and stuff. And it will go public in about like a week and a half, I think.
Ah, well, I mean,
Anybody can join up.
I really enjoy a head start, but a week and a half doesn't give me much of a head start when I've got to completely learn Minecraft anyway, isn't it?
Well, it
Now-
would be a pretty big head start, actually, believe it or not. People can help you out pretty fast.
Monster Fish Girl, how are you? Now, we did have a question back here from Leslie regarding sumpage and stuff. Let me pop that on the screen because it was addressed at you.
Just put that water in there. Put that water in there. That's legit what I'm doing on Minecraft right now. I'm just putting water in one area over into the other one.
Is it sensible to drill while there's water in the tank? Or is that asking for trouble? Be putting a little bit too much stress on the glass, wouldn't it? All that pressure pushing out.
What are you trying to do?
I know you've done videos on sumps, but I've got a fully stocked African cichlid 75 gal I'd like to put a sump on. Is it possible to drill the tank while full?
You have to drain it down. So you can leave it in place and drain it down to where you're going to drill it. The problem is that you would need to know for sure that the glass is not tempered. Like if you have tempered glass, it's going to shatter and explode. Which is a problem, if you have a tank that's full. And especially if it's full of fish and whatnot, and you're counting on it to keep your fish alive, if it just explodes, they'll all probably die, it is possible to do. One of my old videos, I drill a tank that's it's just sitting on a table, and I put some water in it, and I just drill it sideways like that. But I knew that tank was not tempered glass, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But if you have tempered glass and you start to drill it, it just shatters like a window in your car into little tiny bits. So.
And what about if you've got? I mean, I'm assuming when Leslie's referring to a fully stocked African cichlid tank, that's going to have fish in it as well. When you're drilling, aren't you going to get little bits of glass dust wafting into the water and possibly going through fish gills and stuff?
No,
I guess you could
it's
put
pretty
a wet
well
rag
contained because when you drill glass, you're going to spray it down with water. So you're not really getting any of the glass, it's not going airborne and flying all over the place. It's right. Like wet sanding, it's like wet sanding a car.
Yeah. I guess in response, Leslie, to the second part of your question, can I do the plumbing without drilling the tank? I believe it was Blake's Aquatics. Correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen the video. I think it was Blake's Aquatics did a DIY overflow to negate the need for drilling tanks. So it could be worth having a look at Blake's channel. I'm fairly certain it was Blake that did it.
Right.
Because I meant to go back and watch that video, but I haven't done that as yet.
Right.
Oh, thanks,
I'll be right
Chevy.
back. We're gonna go move the thing real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, no sweat. Thanks, Chevy Fish. I just noticed your message re the father. But yeah, I'm fairly certain it was Blake's channel that had the straight up the nose. You must die for that. And you must get eaten by fish. Yeah, I wanted to watch that video for my own education as well, because I've watched videos on bell siphons, which are handy to work as overflows, but they certainly take up a considerable amount of real estate in the tank. And the design that Blake seemed to have together was just like using 20 mil, pretty small PVC pipe. So ideally wouldn't take up as much real estate as a bell siphon, and also would be a hell of a lot less risky than drilling a tank with everyone still inside. Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. Who else have I? Oh, look out. Bateson Genetics is here. How are you, Bateson? BG. Where have you come in from, Bateson? Good to see you. Welcome aboard. I would never, lol, drill a tank full of glass. Did I stumble on my words, Tropico? Yeah, Leslie. I'd be looking into the DIY overflow video before drilling. And then, if I haven't got around to watching it by next week, tell me that it's awesome so I can do it too. Oh, I don't think Top Chat's going to worry you too much on my streams, BJ. There's only 30 odd of us here. I don't think Top Chat will delete too many at the rate this is going. Oh, yeah, that's a good point too, Dougs. They tell us not to bang on fish tanks so the fish don't get a headache. I assume that a constant drilling is kind of like a constant banging. We have as in a COVID bubble, Joel. Yeah, I think they've just been pushing for that so that they can get the humans travelling between Australia and New Zealand again. Australians miss travelling to NZ, and New Zealanders miss travelling to here. Not that we're, neither of us are real monster economies or anything, but yeah, gets a few people out of the house and into a different country. Popula. Yeah, Corvus chose a really, really poor time to run away because now I'm busting for a wee. Tell you what, I'm going to. What about I play the Grub song? Yeah, I might just play the Grub song while I disappear and go and wrestle because otherwise I'm going to be able to think of nothing except the sensation between my thighs.
This is the story about a grubby little guy who doesn't know it yet, but he's in for a big change.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. He'd eat his leaves all day and have grubby things to say. When he was asked to comment on what might be one day,
He said, I'll keep doing things my grub way. It's my way from day to day. What may be one day. Till then, I'll stick to my grubby way.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub went on with the way that took him day to day, thinking things that made him say, what if things worked another
And
way?
he said, I've been doing things my grub way. It's the same old stuff day to day. Perhaps there is another way, so I can change my grubby way.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. And Grub went on and changed his ways, woke felt strange. Wrapped himself up and slept for days. Woke up again and he was amazed.
I was happy to do my bit, fit myself into where I fit. Never knew how free I could be, couldn't tell I could be me. I settled in and I did my thing. Never knew I was gonna, never knew I was gonna grow wings, living my life day to day. Now everyone can hear me say.
Grub was happy that he tried new things, so very happy he loved his wings. Recapping tonight's top stories. Grub was happy that he tried new things, so very happy he loved his wings. Back to you in the studio.
Do I have to add? Oh no, there we are. We're back.
All right.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was just telling our lovely viewers that you chose a terrible time to go away because my bladder was about to explode in my lower stomach. So I tried to carry the conversation for as long as I could, but there was just simply too much focus on the bladder pressure. I had to run and sort it out. So just let a little
heavy cabinet. I think it was heavier than I expected. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, they're awkward too, especially with moving parts.
Well,
You don't
it's all
carry
heavy
it.
duty because it's like, Jesus. It's all heavy duty because it's like, for files. It was all like way heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
Lucky you moved it empty because them files, they get heavy. Yeah, nothing worse though when you're trying to move a filing cabinet and someone doesn't realize how gravity works and they try and carry it upside down and all the drawers hit the floor.
Right. Yeah. The drawer was falling out. You got to know that the drawer kept falling out because as I was told, the drawer doesn't lock. So even though that's one of the features that it's supposed to have, seems that feature is non-functional at this point for whatever weird reason.
Well, I think they generally, if it's got like the little key thing up the top, I think all it is like a metal post that goes down the side of it. So maybe it's just bent or something.
Vicky told me that she installed it wrong.
Oh, was it like you have to build it yourself style filing cabinet?
Yeah, it's much too long and much too boring of a story to tell. But
Fair enough.
That's basically the deal.
You realize when the movie comes out, we're going to have several long and boring stories to fill an hour and 45 minutes.
What's that? We have to get long and boring stories.
Yeah, well, if we're going to turn this into a feature-length film, there's going to have to be at least one or two long, boring stories in there.
Well, I mean, we're going to lean heavily on the action sequences, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
A lot of car chases, a lot of montages of us doing stuff.
It's a logical place to go with a dialogue film,
right?
To insert as many car chases and running through crowded mall. We better do one of those as well. Put that in your notes.
There's going to be moments like that to fill out the whole thing,
I don't know if... I'm just going back to Leslie's question about the thing. Can I get, if someone hasn't already done it, can I get someone to find that Blake's Aquatics video about the DIY overflow and pop a link in the chat? Unless you've already found it, Leslie, and you've already watched it and haven't been paying attention to us. filing cabinet turn out to be the hero in the end.
Yeah, that's the twist.
I like that conclusion. I like where it's going.
The plot twist. It's not the human cashier that's the hero. It's the machine, the cashier. That's the hero. It's like Johnny Five.
Have your people contact our people, and we'll get you a writing credit sorted for that. Well done.
That's right.
We'll get you some royalties, some residuals sorted.
It would be funny to get representation. That would be funny. All the wacky gigs that they would try to get us to go to.
Or the press junket before the release.
Oh, we've got a hall booked in Wichita. You got to go out to Kansas. You got a good demographic out in Kansas. Get out there. Huh? Okay.
Lots of sitting around listening in Canvas. Canvas?
Yeah.
I think I just renamed a state.
Canvas. The upgrade. That's actually a word.
I'm going to just open up a window, which might make me echo for a second if I don't jump to the mute button quick enough. Because I can't use Pam's link from StreamYard. I have to open up the YouTube to find the link, to click the link. Oh no, my YouTube's already muted. Well done, Blacky. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Yeah, that's the one, Pam. Thank you very much. Well done. Gosh, he's a good-looking boy, isn't he, that Blake fella?
Mm-hmm.
And 6,000 subs recently, too. You just
Wow.
passed over that 6,000 mark. Man, that dude is killing it. G'day, Kragos and Zen Ginger. Welcome.
Skyrocketing to world fame.
And he was less than 50 subscribers when I first had him on my stream and promoted his channel. But that kid, he did the did the research, worked out what he had to do, got in and did the work, and by crikey, he puts in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I've got a new thing. I've got a new thing I'm working on. Everybody wants to get more subscribers. I'm trying to get less subscribers.
I just tell people to fuck off more often. Vinoxky, how are you? Oh, thanks, Chewy. Very good production.
I've been whittling down because I want to get down to 1 subscriber so I can give my channel away.
Oh, yeah.
Go like,
right, eh?
oh, here you go. Here's 5 million views. All right, see you later. Peace out.
It's good to have goals, I guess.
Hey, man, people talk about ceremonious endings to TV shows, like in this conversation. We were talking about that, and I think that's the best way to bow out. And like somebody who's the biggest fan, like, here you go, take over the content train. See you later.
Yeah, what's that saying? It's better to
burn out than to fade away.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. It's like we've been doing this for so long. You can almost finish my sandwiches.
I could finish your sandwiches all day long, brother. I love sandwiches. I would
Aquarium Man, how's it going? He's wondering, what vaccine did you have and how are you feeling?
Moderna, and I was feeling like shit. Now I'm feeling like half
a piece
shit.
of poo.
Half poopy. Sorry. I don't mean to be cussing it up on your cuss stream here. With the squares. I had the potty mouth because I don't feel good. Sorry.
I believe I did just say fuck like less than 2 minutes ago.
I mean, it's hard to keep track. That's all I'm saying. I'm not feeling well, so I posted a short stream about it yesterday, but I did mention it at the beginning of this one. I got the Moderna. Got my first shot, and I reacted pretty harshly. Not like nothing crazy. I just feel like crap. I'm all stuffy and achy and that kind of stuff. So, but today's a marked improvement over yesterday, and I expect tomorrow to be a market improvement over today. So
Can I just say I love that word? I love marked.
that's right.
But I think it's funny when people pronounce it marked.
I
had a marked improvement.
Well, that's how
It's like,
Americans.
you've never
normally
heard that
pronounce
word said, have you? You've only seen it written down. There's another good one like that. AWRY.
a rye.
Yeah, but the amount of times I've read that in books until my early 20s, and I was reading it as Ori.
Ah,
And then once I had learned that it is actually a rye, a very good close friend of mine used it in a conversation and said Ori. And, I couldn't resist the opportunity to say, that's actually pronounced a rye, right? Like I hadn't just learnt it 2 weeks ago. Sometimes a high horse wants to be climbed upon.
that's right.
What are you looking for? Come here. You can come here. My dog had fleas yesterday. So shocking.
Yeah.
He hadn't had fleas for ages.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Likely story.
So I got one of my sons to give him a flea shampoo, but those things are pretty useless. Kill the adults and they're covered in fleas the next day.
Right.
So I went to...
You got to give them the dip for the eggs.
Well, I went and got one of those medicinal chew things from the vet. Not the vet. I probably should have gone to the vet because the pet shop charged me through the bum hole. Freaking $80.
Oh. How much would the vet would have been?
Oh, I don't know.
Is the vet cheaper?
I would doubt it.
Yeah,
but
I feel like the vets like to charge for just about anything it could possibly come up with. They're like, hey, we looked at your dog. It's going to be $300. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What
That sounds like a cheap vet.
I look at dogs all the time. I'll never make any $300.
Yeah, no. Scungy bought. She was due to get the same medication for her dog, and she got, like, her dog's a bit bigger than mine, so I don't think that's got anything to do with the cost. But online, she orders it, and she paid $58 for it. But unfortunately, I get really, really bad reactions to fleas. Like, they're the one bitey animal that really messes my skin up and itches like mad. Mosquitoes, they can eat me all day long and they don't even itch. But fleas, oh my goodness, they make up for what the mosquitoes don't do. So I wasn't willing to, wait and have the house infested with fleas just for $22 difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to bite the bullet and go get it done.
Yep.
But yeah, he's still got adult dead fleas in his fur that I just saw then. But that's good enough for me.
Yeah, at least they're dead.
But yeah, I can't come at fleas.
Fleas are one of those extraordinarily useless things where you're just like, you know what? I just don't care if you die.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here?
Right.
I mean, people say that about flies.
Right.
Why are they here? But, they're here so that they can lay their maggots in rotting flesh and clean up our environment. But fleas, mosquitoes, where's their benefit?
One of my chickens had fly strike the other day, which is fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Is it a silky?
What's that?
Is it a silky chook?
Oh, the chicken?
Yeah.
No, it's Dominique.
No, I thought the silkies would be the most prone to, what did you call it?
Fly strike.
Fly strike, right. Was it on the butt or was it elsewhere?
It was on the butt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's generally where they get it, You have like a moist butt and then the flies lay there. Yeah.
Maggoties.
The flies get up in their cloaca, and that means this bird's going to die. Like, oh, that's very useful. Cool. I had to cull a hen. I don't like doing that when it's just like, oh, well, you're gonna die, so I guess I have to murder you now. Like, not a very good reason, but it's the humane reason, you know.
Alyssa Flea Drops. Are you referring to the
like Frontline or whatever?
I've got a phone call coming in from the hospital. Can I just mute myself for a minute? I'll be back.
Yeah. I was just like, what's that crazy elevator music? Like, hey everybody, welcome to the elevator show. We got elevator jams in the background. Must be the hospital calling, would be my guess. But yeah, so fly strike is essentially the chickens have what's called a cloaca, which is where the eggs and the poop and the pee and everything come out of. So they're all in one orifice. And occasionally during the winter months, kind of especially, which we're almost out of, but not quite. We still have these cold nights. Sometimes the chickens get a little moist in their butt, just like when you hang out in the tub for too long, you get a little pruny. Well, that unfortunately happens to the chicken's cloaca, and the flies can find that to be an exceptional place to lay their eggs. And the function of the cloaca continues to be moist on the inside, which is where the flies offspring want to be, and it infests that whole area. And they unfortunately I guess there are ways to beat it out medically through medical science, but the way that they do it is they cut it out and irrigate the whole area with some kind of septic like saline plus some kind of antibiotic or antiseptic or whatever, and can get all of the maggots and then the maggot eggs and whatnot out of there. But it is extraordinarily costly, and it's a chicken, so it's super elective. It's not like there's any insurance that you could possibly get to cover that. So that's the unfortunate thing is like, well, I would not be qualified to do that surgery. Otherwise, I would give it a shot. I would give it a shot if I even thought I had a chance in getting it correct. But I really am of the opinion that it would just go poorly, and that unfortunate chicken would just be in a much worse situation. So the unfortunate thing is to cull the chicken, which sucks. But it's part of animal husbandry, right? If you're going to have animals, you have to accept the responsibility, and that's part of it.
And also, if they're fly blown, then they're still edible. You don't eat the date. GHB's
thing is they're so old, they're hardly edible at this point.
Right, yeah.
They're like 5 years old.
That's a soup chicken.
And we could potentially eat them if we had to, but I just gave her a nice burial. It's like, all right, see you down the road.
GRB with that classic Australian saying, "Up the clacker," which completely comes from the word cloaca.
Right.
But if Australians are known for anything, they're known for eliding, dropping syllables or letters. Oh, look out, there's a Brendan Ryan here. I wonder if it's the Brendan Ryan that I know. Another Australian living in New Zealand. Brendan Ryan may have to confirm this, but he says nothing moister than an oyster. Or an oyster. I'm sure he means oyster, though. I believe he may be making a mild sexual reference. Zip gun. They now know that a dinosaur's cloaca looks like. Oh, what? I'm assuming that means they found a fossilized dinosaur's cloaca. Why hasn't that made it to the front page of all the science journals?
Well, because it's probably the same as a chicken's, pretty much.
I would imagine it would be virtually identical, except slightly larger in size.
Yep. And slightly fossilized.
So yeah, I just had a phone call, and it's always very interesting when my phone is hooked up to my Bluetooth speaker and it rings, because my phone never makes any noises. It's always on silent. I have absolutely no idea what my phone ringtone is set to. And then all of a sudden I get this weird song playing through my Bluetooth speaker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just got the phone call that I can go and collect my old man from the hospital.
The pops. Turns out his back's good enough. They're kicking him out.
Oh, they probably just drugged him up, sent him on his way. They did do some scans. I assume they did probably a CT scan. I don't think they have MRI facilities at the Byron Bay Hospital. So, yeah, I'd say they've scanned him and found nothing sinister.
Right.
And yeah, now he's going to have to come back and endure the tribe and the horde and the claustrophobia and just deal. But no doubt they'll send him home with a package of rather enjoyable medication as well.
Right. Everybody on my chat here is talking about Bitcoin right now. My Bitcoin went up today.
Pardon me. Oh, that's right. You're doing Minecraft at the same time, aren't you?
I'm doing all sorts of stuff.
So versatile. So talented. Skipper,
Minecraft.
how are you, Skipper?
Huh?
I was saying hi to Skipper's Aquariums, who's just rolled into the chat.
Boy.
Brendan Ryan, please confirm that you are the Brendan Ryan that I know, or if it's just a coinky dink.
Brendan
I don't
Ryan,
know.
and love.
I don't know if the Brendan Ryan that I know has ever been to one of my streams, so it's a bit odd. Could be just super coinky dink.
Yeah, my Bitcoin went from $130 to $145.
Whoa, cash in. Time to cash in.
I originally bought $100 worth of Litecoin, actually. I don't have Bitcoin, I have Litecoin. Now it's 145, so look at that, guys. Look at that. You could be having enough money for, be able to go see a movie.
Oh, I was going to say you can get your YouTube channel down to 1 subscriber now and ditch it.
That's right.
You're a made man.
Well, like I said, you all are trying to get 1 million subscribers. I'm trying to get 1 real subscriber.
To be fair, y'all is a bit of a generalization.
Y'all.
Because ultimately, I know with my awesome level of content and enjoyability, I wouldn't expect to have any more than 722 subscribers. That'll do me.
You're over 700 now.
I don't know. I don't even look at that. Hang on. Look out! I've got 2 YouTube tabs open and none of them are mine. I can probably close Bentley's stream. 682. Wow.
Well, there you go. You're not quite to 700 then, huh?
I kind of like the like not looking at that, because then when I'm when moments like this happen where I go, oh, here's a time to look at how many subscribers I've got, and then I go, oh, all right, there's a few extras since the last time I looked.
Oh, lovely.
I think last time I looked, I was in this. I just passed the 666, which ideally that would be a great place just to stop.
Ideally,
if I could just
the spot.
As soon as I got to 666, I should have stopped anyone else subscribing from my channel, but that also could be quite foolish, because who knows, maybe I will get to 1,000 one day. Maybe I will make 17 cents a video for a few months.
Delightful.
I do potentially, due to my incredibly lazy nature, I think that not having 1,000 subscribers or a monetized channel makes me really quite apathetic about making content and stuff. I feel that if I did go over 1,000, then I'd kind of feel some kind of pinging obligation to do stuff, you know, put videos up and stuff.
That's the thing. You don't even have to monetize ever. You don't have to.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's an option, isn't it?
Yep, completely optional. Actually, the funny thing is like I monetized my channel when YouTube was invite only for monetization.
Oh yeah.
How long ago I did it, and so I've never really with this channel, I've never really gone through the process like of like submitting to get approval or whatever. Like super weird. Like there was really any metrics to meet at the time. At the time, you would just send them an email and be like, "Here's my channel. I would like to submit for monetization," basically. And then they would, like, someone, actual human, would email you back like, "Nah, we don't think you're good for monetization," or like, "Oh, looks like you're getting blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, we'll approve you." You know, it's weird. A weird time back then, you know, back in the day, as it were.
G'day, Kevin. Yeah, I would imagine since
nowadays it's
since
all
then
automated
you've
robot
seen some
review.
You would have seen some very, very interesting changes in the YouTube stuff since then, yeah.
I've seen quite a few changes over the years, yeah. The analytics is the weirdest part to me, like just how much information people are collecting in regards to their content, and then how much it changes them and what they were going to make, you know. Like I saw Foo the Flower Horn the other day, like posted this insane rant about how somebody has just been copying his fish videos or whatever, and I didn't comment on it, but I really should have commented on it, you know, and just been like, you straight up make the same video about one fish tank over and over and over again. Like, you just keep releasing the same video. Like, you're stealing your own content, which is like a stolen style of video. You know, it's like you didn't invent this style of video or anything like that. I don't know. I just thought it was super arrogant and funny. Like, really? Yeah. Okay, so that. This is the content you're putting out. Like, oh, okay, all right, man. Like, it's like a call out video that doesn't actually call anybody out, which is hilarious to me, really. Like, you know, he doesn't name who it is. You know, he's like, this guy's just been stealing my content, and he's been copying my titles, and it's like, yeah, that's how YouTube works now. Like, you have a video with 3 million views, and you put a keyword in the title, and people search keyword searches, and then they use those keywords in their title so that people will watch their content. Like, that's how this works. This is all just like a business platform now. And it's like, you don't have like creative right to own whatever words you piece together as your title. You know, like, what are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, like, if you're gonna do a call out video, like, just call out the person and legit just be like, oh, it's this person, and I think this is BS. That's it. End of video. Like, it's like a 15-minute video of like, well, you know, and it's like never him. It's never him on screen or anything. It's just his voice and like a bunch of other like clipped videos that he like downloaded from whatever video site. You know, it's like, did you even shoot any of the video in this that you're claiming like somebody's copying your video? You know what I mean? It's like,
well, probably didn't want to use his own footage so no one could steal his ideas. or
Not
her.
right. Yeah, you wouldn't want anyone to steal your idea of a vague call out video, right? Yeah, it's super weird. I don't know. But that whole kind of stuff just makes me laugh. I'm just like, whatever, dude. You people are just weirdos.
Sorry, Skipper, did Corvus miss something in the chat that you directed to him?
What did I miss? To the chat. He's taking over.
Yeah, I think, Skipper, you might be a little bit unfamiliar with how things work here. Corvus talks, we listen. That's how it works.
I don't know. Okay. I guess I don't.
I'm
Does Skipper
assuming.
want to come on? Is that the problem? Okay. Come on. Come on and talk to the show. I'll talk to Skipper. Why not?
Yeah, Skipper's good people.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure if he's responding to something that he may have directed at you that we didn't answer or something. I don't know. Skipper, you may have to clarify.
Yeah.
Or if he's just... Maybe he's calling you out. Have you copied a Skipper's video, Corvus?
Yeah, I don't know. Fish tropic. Don't make me come in there. Come on in. I don't mind. Oh, I don't know. You know, I'm fully happy to accept criticism. Is it a criticism? It just seems like lacking clarity. I would like clarity to the criticism.
Well, I mean, it's blatantly obvious generally that, you know, one of the main reasons that we love having you here is that your mouth moves and sounds come out, and 97% of the time, all the sounds that come out are informative and reasonable and sane and well judged and stuff. But you know,
well, that's definitely debatable. 97%. I mean, come on.
You know, approximate numbers only. To quote one of my old catchphrases that I don't really do anymore. I suppose to use catchphrases, you have to produce content on a regular basis, don't you?
That's right.
So yeah, I don't get that many opportunities to use my catchphrases anymore. Catchphrases. I sound like an arsehole when I say that I've got catchphrases.
I will tell you, it's weird to go to conventions and then people like they want you to yell the thing that you say on YouTube over and over again. Which is why I don't have catchphrases anymore.
G'day, collaboration of curiosities.
So I used to yell surprises, right? Fairly often.
As in the word surprises.
Yeah. And then I used to yell internet all the time before my videos at the beginning.
I remember the old internet days. I was wondering where that went.
There's some other stuff too, but regardless, those two things. If I go to a convention, people want me to yell it to them.
Internet!
Yeah, over and over again.
And how many times did you? And how many times did you go, fuck off, leave me be?
I never said fuck off. I never did that.
Yeah, that would be poor form.
It's just weird. But there are certain times where it was just inappropriate, and I just kind of, you know, laughed and was like, all right, you know.
You laughed? That sounds like the perfect opportunity for a scowl.
Well, just being nice, you know. I mean, it's like there's no reason to be mean to people about it.
I suppose, in a perfect world.
Well, there's no reason to be mean to people, you know. Like that's not. Oh, okay. It's not. Hold on, let me start over. There are reasons to be mean to people. That is not one of them. So, if someone is being a rapist, that is a good example of a time in which you could be mean to them.
Yeah.
To the right? To the tippity top, right?
Right up there.
If someone is a fan of yours and wants you to kind of make a buffoon out of yourself in public, that's not a time to be mean to somebody. That's just like, all right, man, yeah, I get it. Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. You know, like, and That's the genuine emotion too. Is like, oh, thanks, man. That's awesome. Not gonna yell that right now. It's kind of weird. Like there's.
Yeah, sometimes humans' expectations just, they sometimes need to be pandered to, and they sometimes need to be pushed aside. But yeah, you're right. You don't have to be a dick about it.
Right.
Yeah, raw tobacco Tropico, and I cook it as I smoke it. I don't know what raw tobacco is. What's raw tobacco?
Like not dried or loose tobacco. I mean, you want it to be dried. Trust me.
Yeah,
It
I
has
think,
to be
mate,
dried. You'll have a bad.
I smoke like roll your own cigarettes Tropico, if that's what you mean, instead of pre-made cigarettes or Taylor cigarettes, we call them down here.
Tailored.
Taylor, yeah, Taylor.
All right.
Maybe Tai, as in a tailor who's made them. But yeah, it's just cigarettes are frightfully expensive in this country.
Right.
Yeah, probably not Tropico, because I just smoke a normal brand, so they it's probably treated in some way before it gets put in the bag. But I have recently got myself onto a contact for what we call down here chop, which is black market tobacco. I probably shouldn't say that on a live stream.
Yeah, probably not.
Now my phone's going to be tapped for when I make my next deal. But yeah, hopefully I can hopefully I can get in on some of that, because it it's the same stuff. It's just not subject to all of the government taxes and whatnot. So it works out a hell of a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've got to quickly go and wrestle a crocodile.
Oh, nice.
Before I get into that last area.
Did we ever get an answer from the skipper? What was it? What was it that the skipper wanted? No, I guess we got no clarification on what the skipper wanted. Maybe I'll scroll back. What was it? I don't know. Nope, no clarification. Okay. Reading good. Reading good in the neighborhood. Lunatic Friends, are you involved somehow with what? What are you guys involved in? You ever seen the best band rehearsal on YouTube? The best band rehearsal on YouTube would probably be Snarky Puppy. Would probably be the best band rehearsal on YouTube. I don't even really enjoy like big band jazzy kind of stuff typically. I mean, I like really technical drumming, and the drummers, what is it? What's his name? Larnell Lewis, I think is his name, or something like that. Larnell. That guy's one of the best drummers on the planet. Have you heard Snarky Puppy at all? Those guys?
I've not.
You should listen to some of their stuff. I mean, it's pretty smooth. It's not rock. It's whatever, but it's very technical and pretty good. Their drummer is a madman. Super good.
That's Larnell Lewis, is it?
I think that's right. I think that's his last name. Larnell's his first name.
I don't know, Corvus. Let's open a can of worms here. Was Neil Peart overrated?
Was Neil Peart overrated? Like, in what way?
Like, he just seemed... He's the Jimi Hendrix of drumming. He seems to get... As for mine... I mean, Neil Peart was Rush, yeah? Or yes? Rush.
I think it was Rush with Geddy Lee, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee already gets the, like, he's the greatest bass player of all time. You know, like, well, I mean, that's debatable, but no one's willing to have the debate. It's always just like, "Ah."
Yeah, it must be, or you're out.
But
Go.
I would say Neil Peart is a better is a better drummer than Geddy Lee was a bass player. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you question that, you need to watch some of the instructional videos of Neil Peart's stuff. He did some really long format like instructional videos, and they really give you an idea of like, oh yeah, that's way harder than I thought it was gonna. Okay, yep, that's harder than I was thinking. Okay, got it. Yep. Okay, it sounds simple, but then when you actually look at how it's played, you're like, okay, that's effed. All right.
Yeah, I mean, potentially I've just not listened to enough Rush to appreciate the level of appreciation.
And here's the thing, like Geddy Lee is really good. Like don't get me wrong, like Geddy Lee is good, but Neil Peart is a better musician than Geddy Lee is. I mean,
fair enough,
in my opinion. But was Neil Peart like overrated? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say like when somebody's overrated or not, because it's always like somebody's opinion, and it's
totally subjective.
It's basically impossible to tell somebody that they have a wrong opinion. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I don't like salsa. Like, oh, you're wrong. Like, well,
essentially,
okay,
I think
I still don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just an opinion.
I used to really enjoy starting discussions and arguments by saying that sort of thing about Jimi Hendrix, saying that he was very overrated. Potentially, just like I said, to fire people up and get people arguing and stuff. But yeah, I could honestly say that I've not actually listened to enough Rush to determine whether Neil Peart's
it's hard.
quality drummer or not.
Okay, so it's difficult to say that like Jimi Hendrix is overrated because you have to take into account a lot of things. First off, he died very young. What was he, like 28 or something? 27?
I think he's in the 27 club.
Is he in the 27 club? So he died very young, first of all, right? So it's really difficult to qualify somebody's career when their career is...
Hang on, I've got another one of these phone calls coming in. Bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. He's not going to be able to listen to what I'm talking about, so we're going to have to like figure out how to carry this conversation over while he takes a hospital call, which is just, it's difficult to always take a hospital call regardless of the situation. Maybe things have made a turn. Looks like more of an administrative call. Like, when are you coming? Did you leave yet?
Yeah, no, it was a follow-up call from the hospital giving me some advice of some stuff to bring.
Like, bring water and some towels.
Almost very similar.
Yeah. But yeah,
So,
with Jimi Hendrix, it's always an issue of like, there's a lot of context that needs to be taken into consideration. Like if you're going to have that conversation in a real way, right? So first off, you have to think like, okay, well, if you're judging him on his career was short by 30 years, So it's kind of difficult to go like, well, the 10 years that he was making music, well, it's not as good as this other guy's 50 years of making music. And you're like, well, just by sheer volume, of course, you're going to lose, right? I mean, if I make a delicious hamburger and you make 400 delicious hamburgers, it's like, well, which one's better? It's like, well, yeah, but there's 400 of them over here, regardless of what like humans would want to say. Like they will take into consideration the volume,
Yeah.
So You know, Jimi Hendrix has that problem. Also, you have to think of the time, right? So at the time, what were other people doing, right? Were they
not that.
Were they even close to what he was doing? Like, no, not really. They were playing electric guitars, and there were definitely other good players. But you also have to take into the opinion of the players at the time. So if you think like if you talk to like Eric Clapton, who was one of the other great players of the time, what was his opinion of Jimi Hendrix? And his opinion has always been like, oh my God, it was like so good. It was crazy, you know? And you're like, oh, so the guy who got to play for 50 years, turns out his opinion is, oh my God, you know? And you're like, okay, so let's consider that for a second, that guy's opinion is very high, right?
Essentially, I do really appreciate the playing of Jimi Hendrix, but I just always found it a fun thing to say amongst guitar players, to fire people up and see where people's feels were at.
Mm-hmm.
I always found that kind of spiteful arrogance fun and dandy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense to like get people to talk about it, you know. Somebody who would be like a good a better argument starter would be like Stevie Ray Vaughan, in my opinion, right? Because fantastic guitar player, played for a good amount of time, didn't really make that much content realistically for like the amount of time that he was constantly playing all the time.
Yeah.
Amazing guitar player, died of colon cancer or bladder cancer or something like that.
Yeah, some weird downstairs one.
Yeah. And you know, mysteriously, like the drugs didn't kill him. It was just cancer, which is just utterly bizarre.
Well, I think he's sort of
he had like he had that real natural talent too. Like he didn't, you know, he didn't know how to read music or any of that stuff. And he had the same kind of thing as Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah, I think his thing was that he had his like stunning songs that everyone loved, and he worked out that he could just tour around the planet and play those songs and make enough money that he didn't have to constantly churn out new stuff.
Right. Well, that's
the vibe.
That's the thing about being a musician. You don't need to write new songs. Everybody wants you to play the hits when you show up.
Yeah, isn't it weird how that happens? Musicians get asked to make to play their classics, but you can't play a TV show on rerun 17 times.
Of course you can. They do that all the time.
Yeah, it was probably wasn't the best analogy, was it?
they play reruns forever, like Friends.
Streaming services
didn't they pay something insane like $200 million to get the reruns of Friends or something like that, right?
Doesn't Netflix. Even make sense. It wasn't that good a show.
It's bizarro, like how much people love that show and continue to watch it, and I'm just like, these tropes are just so stupid. Like what? I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I get why people liked it at the time, and I get the nostalgia side of it, but I just don't get like the fixation behind it. Like, you know, all the jokes. Like, okay, so these I don't know. It's bizarre.
Oh yeah, that's the comparison, not TV shows. Comedians.
Yeah, comedians get screwed when they are telling their old jokes. Yeah,
that's where I was supposed to go. Yeah. I've mislaid my script.
Yeah, comedians get screwed by the telling their old jokes. That's where you get really.
I wonder, you know how you get tribute bands that get around. G'day, Deborah Lewis. How are you? You get your tribute bands that get to play all around the world playing other people's music.
Right.
Maybe what if there was a tribute comic that went around the world doing other
Richard
stand-up jokes. How would that go down? Probably like
he just traveled around doing Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor's jokes.
Yeah, the next 7 minutes will be Pryor. Then I'm going to do some Eddie Murphy. Then I'll slip seamlessly into some Bill Burr. And then, if you're lucky, you're going to get some dice poetry.
Oh. Well, you got to pick dead comedians at the very least. So you got to go George Carlin. Eddie Murphy's not dead. So you got to go like George Carlin, Pryor. I guess you could do Bill Cosby because he can't sue you from prison, can he? I don't think he can. Maybe his family would or something. But you could do like dead guys stuff. You could do Mitch Hedberg. He's dead. You know, there's a whole bunch of them that you could do that were dead, but it wouldn't last very long. I mean, Carlos Mencia was doing that. But I guess he still has a career, even though he was quote unquote canceled by Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Which is super funny because Joe Rogan like always has all these like identity politics, right wing wackos that complain about how people get canceled, and it's like, yeah, but Joe Rogan canceled Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, we certainly.
And then they go like, yeah, but that's for a good reason. They go like. Yeah, that's why other people get canceled too, because it's for a good reason. When you're constantly posting Nazi propaganda to your Twitter feed, like Disney doesn't want you to work there anymore. Oh, I was canceled. It's like,
a good reason is
you're spreading Nazi propaganda to small children. That's a problem. Like I do. That's an issue. You're on Disney. That's the kids. There's kids there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I probably will call this quits now because I have to go and collect the old fella from the hospital.
The Pops.
And I'll have to go and organise some things before I go there.
Did you say hospital on purpose?
I did, yes.
All right, I'm just checking.
Generally, if I say fairly regular, normal words in a silly way, it is intentional.
You know, I don't want to assume.
Sorry, it is impendable.
Impendable?
I tried a different one, but it just fell flat on the floor.
I don't know what that word is. I'm confused.
I was going with intentional, but then I tried to swap a few of the letters around to try and make it more comedic, but I failed miserably.
Now I get it. Now I get the jokes. Does it feel weird to have to explain your jokes?
No, I have to do it on a regular basis. But I do appreciate the callback.
I like that you got it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go and thanks, Mickham, and everyone else who offered whatever those words are, nice words regarding that kind of stuff. Appreciate that.
Regards.
Maybe I did send a link to Skipper, but hang on, maybe he messaged me. I did have a message from Skipper before. Righto. But yeah, maybe we'll get Skipper on another time to we'll have a chat about some stuff and whatnot. Oh, I just saw the words Beverly Hills Ninja in the chat. Well done, Tropico. That was a Chris Farley awesome film, wasn't it? I used the term awesome advisedly. I mean, they were really clutching at straws with Farley towards the end of his career, I think, or career/life.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
He was well loved amongst the community of comedians, but yeah, they all knew that he was a train wreck.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, man. It's like
none of them could help him.
One of those reasons why I'm sober.
something we
buddy.
can all work towards.
Sure.
So yeah, man, thank you heaps for hanging out. Thanks everyone for watching and stuff.
Thanks for having me.
And you know, if you're not busy in about a week's time, come back and do it all again. Now that the bloody daylight savings is all over for 6 months.
Are you back to a regular time?
I hate daylight savings.
No.
I mean, my biggest problem is that I've erroneously aligned my stream's title with having drinks. And when we get around to this time of the year, all of a sudden, I'm starting just after midday. And that's not necessarily the best time to be, you know, sucking beverages down. So potentially it's an opportunity for me to, you know, maybe curtail the drinking somewhat.
Yeah.
I sound like a parent or something. But anyway, everyone, appreciate your presence and stuff. Presence with a C and an E, not a T and an S. But, you know, if you want to send me presents, I like presents. Don't worry about bows, though. I don't like superfluous bows and ribbons and stuff. Nah, gross. Thanks, GRB, for slinging links, and Pam as well. I think you chipped in with some quality links as well. And everyone, you know, look after yourselves and each other. That's and right. If you see someone doing good, give them a pat on the back. And if you see someone doing bad, go and stick your thumb up their ass.
Brutal.